Fighters!
Hello everyone, my name is Matthew, and the theme for Nerd Fighters info this week is weird stories. I actually made a video before talking about this life experiences journal that I have, and it's really just small little moments that happen to me and sort of the window into that memory, which helps me remember the story. So I'm gonna pull a couple out of this book. Maybe I can tell one, maybe I can tell a couple. Let's go, let's see. My favorite stories is I've been doing a lot of fishing with my dad when I was little, and we had this, between these two ponds in Pennsylvania, we would walk between the streams and then where they intersect back up to the part where the other lake drains out. And I was probably about 9 or 10 at the time. We came across this section of the stream in the forest that was quite deep. It was a very large flat area. The water was probably up to your knees. We were about to exit this long section of stream up the stream to go see the other lake and where all the water drains out, and we heard these 3 splashes. What could that possibly be? Turns out there were 3 largemouth bass, probably 12 inches, and maybe a little smaller than that, caught in the middle of the stream, and we were wearing aqua shoes, thankfully. So what we did was, we actually tried to catch them with our bare hands. We first started off just chasing them wildly through the stream. I mean, how can you not? This is a situation where you're basically allowed to be a kid to try to rescue fish with your bare hands. Eventually we found out that this was never going to work because there were deeper pockets inside the stream where the bass could escape and definitely stay out of our grasp. What we did was we built a dam across the middle of the stream with these large rocks that we found on the perimeter of this section of the stream. And that way the bass could get cornered inside of it. At some point they would wedge themselves between the rocks and try to find a nook and cranny, and that's when we could get behind them with our hands and lip them, and then proceed to give them oxygen with the water flowing down the stream as we walked all the way back up the stream to Lake Sophia, which is where we release the fish. Now that's not really a weird story, there's no weird feeling with that, it's just something that's completely out of the ordinary. And that's one of my favorite memories to recall when I tell people about why I take purposeless nature walks and why I love to fish. And there are other weird stories that are more small snippet moments than drawn out day or week long stories, such as my greyhound entering the room and pressing her nose to the Xbox 360 tray button and then bolting out of the room after it scares her. Opening the back of a toilet and using one of the brushes at the side of the toilet to stop the toilet from overflowing. I propped it up against one of the mechanisms to stop water from flowing into the bowl. I talked before on my channel, on my videos, about how Mika Kitty at VidCon, Tessa Violet wanted an Instagram with me when I saw her from contributing to a podcast Mike Falzone runs, and other things like being at an FCCLA state conference and having to save it 2 weeks before it starts, or that the sliding glass doors into the lobby of the hotel sound like a pterodactyl when you actually shut them. Or that time we thought that there was a disc stuck inside the Xbox 360 Slim, so we took apart the entire console, only to find out that it wasn't there, and then we put it back together. I guess I see my stories as a little more interesting and fascinating than weird, because they're just neat happenings. And with the amount that are listed in this journal, it's sort of like a little ticket back through time, just on really, really hilarious moments. Stuff just happens. Thanks for watching. Thanks for having me a guest on Nerd Fighters Info. I love collaborative endeavors like this. Keep being you. Don't forget to be awesome. And keep creating stories and remembering stories and creating value. Meg, I'll see you tomorrow.